This rather strange piece of work is called The Best of Times, circa 1955. And it came about when I tried to clear out my late father's shed, and I just couldn't throw anything away. Also, I had just enrolled on an access course to university in 3D design, and I had no idea what to make. So I began to wonder if I could use any of this for my design project. Every object just seemed to have a life of its own, and the rough wooden boxes my father had made, they were so tactile. And vintage household products, they seemed to tell their own story. Plus, I had all the bric-a-brac of a 1950s childhood. But I still had no idea what I was making. This video shows the work in its early stages. All I knew was I couldn't use shiny new screws. So I played around with the boxes for a while. I drilled holes in tops and bottoms of them, and I pushed 2 of my dad's old screwdrivers through them, which held them together rather loosely. Then I glued on a piece of ladder and one wing of a dressing table mirror. And there it was, an assemblage of stuff. Boxes, which is flexible and easy to take apart. Sometime later, at university actually, I found a large circular mirror no one seemed to want, and I stood everything on it, and it was perfect, everything doubled up. And I had so much fun creating this work, I actually switched from 3D design to sculpture. And putting the objects into it was an absolute joy. Everything seemed to find its own place, and more pieces were added over time. But it was only when I thought I might enter it into an exhibition, I realised something was missing. People. All that stuff of life had no meaning without the people who used it. So I added some black and white family photographs and realised that by placing some of them upside down, they appeared the right way up in the mirror. And it was only when I came to write a description of the work I realised the mirror had created a 4th dimension, the dimension of time. And perhaps we see things more clearly from the distance of time. Let's have a look at some of the detail. A carpenter's wooden ruler is reflected in the mirror at an angle of 90 degrees. My baby sister's plastic beach shovel hangs in the air above a packet of robin starch. Fairground objects tell their stories. A yellow plastic duck sits on a small green box containing a doll's shoe, and a Charlie Chaplin bubble bath is still smiling after all these years above a bottle of Quink ink from my school days. A Christmas tree fairy sits in her box waiting for a tree to sit upon, and below is a whole box of Price's candles, still unopened but always there just in case. A vertical mirror reflects everyday objects, thimbles, miniature dice, old bus tickets, and imperial coins and old playing cards. There's my old school compass with its tiny stub of a pencil hanging in the air, reminding me of dreaded maths lessons. And there's a glass bottle stamped with the word Wolverhampton. It's holding a ceramic flower from the 50s. And a Mickey Mouse candle which has never been lit because it was a present from Brill. An old deadlock door key hangs in the air above an England's Glory matchbox, and a box of tokens for a game of drafts with my young sister's name written on the lid. And there's another of my dad's pigeon prizes, a red rosette. This faces a tin of J. Pickles ointment treatment for corns and calluses. This would probably have been bought from Emile Doux's chemist shop in Netherton in the Black Country. And where would we be without that really useful piece of string? Yes, it's another world, the world of the 1950s. And for me, it was the best of times.